Oh, so many memories. Saturdays was skating days. There was days we played bingo, played video games. I had 4 square, 2 square tournaments, dodgeball tournaments. There was even times where they had computers. I remember we had the Wheel of Fortune game on there. Um, Galaxy tournaments. I remember one tournament we had. Uh, Actually, Reverend Rondalyn Randolph, that's when she was a computer teacher. She had that tournament where she took the winners and also the runner-ups. We went to the movie theaters. And that was my first time seeing Kazam. So you know how long ago that was, but that was definitely a memory from the old center.
This is a beautiful facility, and the one that I grew up in was, I think it was an old barn or something, and it was. We played in like the basement area, and then there was an upstairs area. And I remember my mother telling me that the soldiers from Camp Breckenridge used to come to Owensboro for the weekend, and we saw these bunk beds upstairs, and they would stay at the Neblett Center when they would come in town. And so my mom met my dad when he was in Camp Breckenridge. They would come here on the weekends, and that's how she met him. And he was from South Carolina.
Very cool.
Most things that I do remember is coming here as a child. There was all kind of events. There was the center just being open for all the kids, all the games, and that was the old building. And there were so many memories of the old building. And now, of course, we have the new building. So a lot of memories to keep in store.
Just fabulous. We just love coming here every single day. I mean, we played tennis. I learned to play ping pong, and later on I won a ping pong tournament. And we played kickball, we played softball, and we did arts and crafts. And the Neblett Center just meant a lot to all of us in the neighborhood.
And working here also, it taught me how to open my heart a little bit, become not so hard and loose, and loosen up a little bit. So yeah, but patience is definitely the #1 lesson that I've learned.
When I was a kid, I remember a guy by the name of Mr. Rouse and Miss Neblett and Dr. Neblett. And when I came, Mr. Rouse was here, and he taught us how to play tennis, and he was the supervisor of the center, and he taught us a lot. I mean, he interacted with the kids that were here.
Dr. and Mrs. Neblett, who were the founders of the center, they lived right down the street from us. And you know, we had this neighborhood that was just full of our teachers and doctors and business owners. We all lived in this area in Baptisttown. And so and then the director, both directors, there was a man by the name of Mr. Nolas, that I think he came from Nashville, who was the director of the center at one time. He lived 2 doors from me in one direction, and then when Mr. Rouse, Mr. Ed Rouse came, he lived 2 doors from me in the other direction. So we all lived in this little area, and we all knew each other. And I learned to play ping pong here, and got pretty good at it. And so Mr. Rouse would always ask me to be his partner when we would play doubles in ping pong, because I was really that good and that young. And that's a memory that I will always hold dear, because he thought enough of me as a child to be his partner. And that's the kind of relationships that we learned in this center.
All right.
I remember hearing about the history, how much of an impact she had on the community, volunteering her time, her life, in helping as many youth as she could. I remember reading in the biography when the center was dedicated to her back in '79. It said her dedication to the community, to the youth, was so big. That's why they dedicated the building in her name, because that's how much of a huge impact she had on the youth during that time.
The Neblett Center started with very humble origins, and that was to get young men off the street after a tragedy occurred. And I think that that's still the role, but more importantly, I think we're here to address and upgrade the whole child, the whole person, and throughout their lives. Our community programs that Chick is involved with serve the senior and adult community. We've got programs for kids all the way through high school, through our youth activities, and then we have our daycare services. So I think that the Neblett Center serves the whole community at every stage of life, and we need to make sure that we continue to promote that mission for the next 50 years and on beyond, and hopefully wherever we can expand the word that we're here all the time for anyone, for any need they have.
At the old Neblett Center, I remember Miss Sherry Lansman. She was a music teacher on Saturdays, and she taught me as far as one of the, she wasn't the first, but the second music teacher that got me started playing the piano. And since that day, I've never forgotten about her. She actually boosted my interest in learning how to play the piano. And since that, now I am the musician of a church, and also volunteer at other churches and events and organizations. So I got to start right here at the Neblett Center to do that.
I have an interest in the young people in the same who's growing up here in the same neighborhood that I grew up in. And my interest is to expose them to things that are outside of this community. And that's what I try to do with the rec program. And I also try to incorporate adult activities into the...
It allows our young people a place to go for educational enrichment. And all children need that. They need a place to gain new experiences, and things of that general nature.
I think it's very important to the community because a lot of people depend on the Neblett Center to bring their kids now, since they have a daycare, and they can bring their kids here and drop them off. And they don't have to worry about anything. I mean, they're safe. I feel like this is a safe place for the kids.
It broadens out as far, of course, there's a place for the kids to, for daycare and also recreation, but it also still has things for the adults. I know they do tax preparation here. I think they still do things for the seniors. So it broadens out just not for the youth, but also the community as a whole.
I want to tell the staff and anyone that has anything to do with the Neblett Center that they're doing a great job, and I hope that this continues. My grandmother was such a big part of this community and this community Neblett Center that I'm just thankful to see that it's still here doing what it had been doing years ago. I'm going to be 67 this year, and so I have seen this place change in that length of time. And then there are other people who are older than I, and they've seen it change also, I'm sure. But it's a wonderful thing to have here in our community.
I think it's going to serve the purpose of being a hub for the community for many years to come.
It's important. You know, it's pretty much all we have in the African American community that's left. And 80 years is a long time. For some people, it's a lifetime. And for the Neblett Center to still be here and still be functioning, it's a legacy. And hopefully it'll continue on for 80 years plus. We hope so. We need it to. For my kids and their kids and their kids, it's a great place. It saved my life. You know, as I was telling you, this was the last place I wanted to work, and if I didn't, I think it would have been a big mistake for who I am now. So,
I think the fact that the center has grown, the fact that the center has renewed itself, should be greatly happy with it. As with our husband, who was a doctor in the local community. They saw a need, and they met that need in the community. And the center has continued to expand. I think they'll be extremely happy, both of them.
I just wish that the Neblett Center will continue staying open, because this is just a great place. Great memories are here. And I just like to see the Neblett Center stay open.
My son has played basketball there quite a bit, and I used to coach at Owensboro High School, and a lot of the players that I coached played there, so I'm very familiar with it. And as I said, we played in quite a few tournaments over there. So it's a great place. It's a great place for kids, and I grew up around community centers when I was a kid, so I know what it can teach you.
I just want people to realize what a blessing it is for us to have it in our community. I just want people to realize what a blessing it is for us to have it in our community.
I'm pretty sure the family is proud. I'm proud that I could have been a part of it for 7 years. I hate that I had to leave. I would still be here probably if I didn't had to move on in my career. But congratulations.
And it's evolved now to a wonderful daycare. Education is the forefront. We're just doing nice things. So I just glad to be a part of it.
And then can you say happy 80th anniversary, Neblett Center?
Happy 80th anniversary, Neblett Center.
Neblett Center, happy anniversary.
Happy 80th anniversary, Neblett Center.
Thank you.
Happy 80th anniversary, Neblett Center.